Good morning. Um, Happy Thursday. It's Thursday, which I kept thinking it was Thursday yesterday, but today today is Thursday. Um, Good morning, Susan and Gwen. Is it Earth Day? Okay, well, happy Earth Day. Do something with the Earth. I don't know. It's a cold. It feels like it's cold out there. It was very cold last night. I had to bring in my plants that I bought, which I had set on my porch and they all blew off the porch anyway. So I had to go hunting for them before I went to bed. This weather is amazing. Um, so yeah. So Earth Day, that's kind of a fun thing. Maybe we'll talk about that just briefly. So um, this idea of taking care of the earth, um, environmentalism, and and all of that. Uh, So I feel like that gets kind of a bad rap nowadays. Um, it feels like maybe it's sort of old fashioned or kind of hippie, kind of a hippie thing to care about the earth, care about um, these things, and we get, I think, very cynical about some of the stuff. Right? I remember reading an article about recycling, how a lot of the time the stuff that you put in there doesn't actually get recycled. That a lot of times it's more expensive than just throwing it away. And when that's the case, then companies, are going with the cheapest possible way to do things, which is pretty much par for the course, right? Um, so when you read things like that and hear things like that, you can get pretty discouraged. You can feel pretty, like what's the point? What am I even doing this for? But I mean, what we need to remember is, first of all, when it comes to pollution, environmental pollution, and things like that, it's not really consumers that are the real culprits here. Certainly, what we do is important and we should keep it up. But what we really want to do is get after the companies and the big corporations that are dumping stuff, that are using up the resources in a very non sustainable way. Um, those are things we can very much influence, right? We can absolutely vote and have our voices heard and take some steps to try to do what we know is right, um, and try to keep people, in office who are in alignment with our beliefs when it comes to taking care of the environment. Um, if we are all one, right, that means everything, right? The whole planet, the whole earth, all the animals, and all the fish, and all the insects, and everybody. We are all sort of part of this big chain. Um, and every time we do something, we destroy something, we take away some part of this very complicated but beautiful, sort of beautifully balanced system. um, we we mess things up, right? We don't know what we've lost until right later on we find out, oh, this was what these things were doing. Now they're not doing it, and we got trouble over here. Um, it's enough to really give you pause, right? About doing things. And you got to be careful because I think we spoke the other day about food and how people can get like obsessed with a healthy diet, and to the point where they're almost afraid to eat anything because everything you could think of eating has got some issue with it, either how it was produced or what's in it, or there's something about it that somebody's going to tell you is wrong or bad. The same thing with um, what you're doing. Like, you know, you just stay still because you don't want to affect anything one way or another, right? And of course we can't do that. But we can use all of our yoga principles, right, to think about it, right? Can we do something without harming, right? I'm on a garden list, and I love about it is it's very uh, people will come on there and ask a question about something, and there'll be a couple people who are like, oh, just kill it, or oh, use Roundup and just weed killer, poison it, do all these things, and you know, and then I'll surge of other people who are like, no, 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 please don't do that, dig it out, um, cover it up, if it's a weed like that, um, if you're having trouble with pests, here are some ways you can do it that aren't going to damage the plants and the environment. If you've got varmints in your yard, right, you could live trap them. Um, you could just plant more food, right? This is my master plan to deal with the animals that come to eat my garden. Is I just plant way more than I would ever need, right? So we always buy way more than we need. I always have, like, 12 tomato plants. Who on earth needs that many plants? I plant them anyway, and I know that someone will eat them. If not me, then you know the critters. They also need to eat, right? We all need to eat. We all want to survive. Um, the more there is, the less you have to preciously guard that one tomato. There's lots to choose from. So that's another way to think about it, right? The more that you put out there, the less you need to jealously guard that one thing. Um, so that gives me hope when I hear people talking like that. Um, and I think, again, that's something we really need to encourage is we want people to get out into their gardens, to get out into the environment, go hiking, go, for walks, go outside and see what it is that we're trying to preserve. Um, see what value that has for you. For people who stay inside all day and just watch TV and work on the computer and really never step foot outside, the environment is a very abstract idea, and it's hard to get interested or support abstract ideas. Find out what that is to you. What does it mean to you? And um, what value does it have for you? It will make your experience of it so much richer. And when it comes to the things that you can do, just do them, right? If you can recycle, recycle. If your town does recycling, or if you can easily recycle, do it. Even if you are suspicious that it's actually getting recycled, just do it, right? You are trying to put out that positive action, that positive activity. You're building a good habit of taking care of the things that you have and being aware of the waste that you produce. Um, Maybe there are things that you could buy that would be less, that would create less waste, less garbage. It's hard if we live in a culture that um, does not encourage that. We just throw things away and nobody really thinks about it. Um, I remember reading about places in Europe where you pay for your garbage by how much you discard. So people are very, very careful about um, what they buy, and because they think, how am I going to get rid of this, right? I'm going to have to pay to get rid of this packaging, to get rid of all of these things. So they're careful, but they have a culture that supports that, right? Their packaging industries, things like that, take that into account. So it's hard when we aren't supported. I think it's very interesting. If you've noticed, you've been out to the grocery store since they did the paper bag thing. Um, that everybody was very worried about that, and how's that going to work? And there was a lot of hue and cry. Works fine, right? A lot of people bring recycle or reusable bags now. They have paper bags. They're not the worst. They're not the best, but honestly, their paper bags encourage me to bring my reusable because some of them aren't that good. Some are good. Um, but, right, I mean, that's a way that industry is supporting um, us in something that is environmentally more sustainable, more healthy. Um, but, right, they didn't do it on their own. They had to have a law to make them do it. So that's something that we need to keep in mind, that we need to have people in power that will um, respond to the things that we care about, and that's something that I care about, and it's probably something you care about too. As a yogi, right? We don't exist in a vacuum. We are part of everything around us, and um, being interested in the environment and the health of the environment is simply an extension of being interested in your own health. We can't survive on a dead planet. We can't survive on a place that doesn't have, all of these uh, little pests and annoying insects and animals and different things that um, they all, again, they share this earth with us. Um, they they are an important part of our story, um, even if we don't understand it just yet, or we don't get it. Um, they're again, it's a misunderstanding when we put ourselves ahead, we put ourselves first, and we think because we don't like it or we don't need it that it doesn't matter, or it should get we should just get rid of it. It's a childish way of thinking, and it's a very selfish, and I cringe when I hear an adult speaking that way, right? Because it shows me they have kind of a fundamental misunderstanding of our role here, our our importance in relation to everything. Um, we are just one thing in this big picture. Um, Certainly, to us, we're important, but so is everything else. Right? Um, so, on this Earth Day, think about what you have gotten from this environment. Everything, right? Everything that you have ever received here on Earth has come to you via this beautiful planet that we live on. Um, so let's keep it that way. All right, some asana. Let's do some moving around. Um, let's do some pranayama to start. So I think there's a lot of pollen out now, and I know I've been getting very stuffy. You may be as well. So pranayama can help you with that. Also, neti pot, if you have one of those, if you know about those, I'm sure we've spoken about them before, but you can also look online and find out uh, sources for that. Um, It can be really helpful when there's a lot of pollen and people are feeling stuffed up spring and fall, right? That's when I have issues with congestion and all that. So let's sit up tall, relax and breathe. In through the nose, back out through the nose. Kind of working that even breath. And then just going back to a normal breath, not really focusing on the length of the inhales or exhales, and drop the chin down toward the chest. Then we're going to start moving around. Make a big circle. Trying to keep the shoulders relaxed. One way and then the other. Take a breath and then lean forward a little. Move around. Going one way and then the other. And back up, arms wide. Take a deep breath and then exhale, hands together. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Interlace the fingers, lift the hands, and then arms down by your side. Inhale, lift, and lower, lift, and lower. Once more, lift. And then right hand down by your side, reach across. Switch sides. Back up. Let's bring arms goalpost. Take a deep breath. And then turning the shoulders to the right. Back to center. Take a breath. And moving left. Back to center. Bring the arms down. Let's interlace the fingers behind the back. Maybe set the hands down. Gaze up. And then fold forward. And come on back up. Release the hands. Moving into tabletop. We're going to sit back on the heels. Come on back up. We're going to swing that right leg around. So we're up on the left knee, arms overhead. And then hands to center. Take a breath. And then we're going to twist. Good. Hook the elbow here, or if you want to stay more upright, press against the knee, pull that right shoulder back. Back to center. Right hand down by the foot. Left arm lifts. And then both hands down to the mat. We're going to kind of lean in here. And then walk your hands back, straightening out this right leg. You might have to wiggle it a little bit forward, folding over. If you got a bend in the knee, that's fine, right? And then we're going to swing it back around. Maybe bring the knees a little wider. And back in child's pose. Moving back up. We'll swing that left leg out, arms overhead, and then hands to center. Take a breath in and a twist. Back to center. That feels worse. So sometimes I have the toe curled under and sometimes not. It really depends on how this knee is feeling. So you can experiment. There's no right way or wrong way to do that. Just see how it changes, how it feels on your knee. Left hand comes down. We're lifting up the right arm. Both hands down, leaning in here. And then walking back. We're straightening out that left leg and folding over. Set the foot down, swing it around, and we're back in child's pose. Maybe stack the fists here and rest the forehead if you feel like it. Come on up again. And then we're just going to walk the hands out a little bit and lower down. Head turns right, arms by your side. Head back to center. Let's flip the palms here and then lift up head and chest, arms and legs. Lower down. Head turns left. Head back to center. Let's bring the arms out in front. And we're going to stack one arm on top of the other. And we're going to rest the forehead or the chin on the hands. Actually, the forehead, not the chin, I think. Legs are extended. And then we're going to lift up the head and chest, arms and legs. And the head, the head and the arms are going to come up all together. So keep that head kind of resting on the arms. And lower down. Just relax here. Maybe rest the chin on the hands. You could do toes in, heels out, or heels in, toes out. And then we're going to move it back up. You can go tabletop to child's pose, or you can do upward dog to child's pose. Back to tabletop, downward dog. Knock your hands up a little. Come on down to a seat. Soles of the feet together. Sit up tall, take a breath. Lean forward. Back up, lift the knees. Catch a hold of the toes or the tops of the feet. We're balancing. Steady here and then find some extension. Resting the feet back down, both legs out in front. Take a deep breath and fold. Coming back up. Bend the knees. And lower down here. Take a couple of breaths. And then we're going to hug that right leg in, left leg long. Lower the knee out to the side. Rest of the body stays flat on the mat. And then bring the knee across and roll up on that left hip. Keep bringing that right knee across. And then back to the mat. Same thing, other side, left leg hugs in. Lowering out to the side. And then knee comes to center, bring it across the body. And breathe. And then we're back again. Both legs extend. Relax, take a few breaths. Let's get set up for bridge. Heels back, close to the body. Hands by your side. We're going to press down. Hands and feet lifting up the body. Breathe. Lower down. Soles of the feet together, knees apart. Bring the hands up over your head if you like. And then bring the knees together and extend the legs, moving into Shavasana. Whatever you need to do to get comfortable. Maybe there's an extra pose you want to throw in, or another twist or something to get yourself settled for Shavasana. So keep breathing, relax. So when we feel unsure about what we're doing, right? Let's say you want to help the environment, or, you know, be kind to the planet. Um, and, you can get bogged down in all the information that you're given, the things that you read, um, which is better, uh, right? Plastic is a problem, but what about paper? I mean, there's a lot of pollution in producing paper as well. So, like, which is the right way to go? Again, we can get so bogged down with these things, but in truth, what we need to do is focus on our intention, right? We have a good intention. If we're doing this with a good intention, right? If we're not recycling because we want to look good, or our neighbors are doing it, so we feel bad, we gotta participate, but we're doing it grudgingly, right? We don't really care about it. Um, if we are doing these things with a kind heart, with an open heart, and truly with the good intention to help, we'll know what to do, right? You will have that feeling within that directs you. Yeah, this is the right thing. Um, Listen to that feeling. it's going to steer you the right way. Um, and again, when we are ever working in unknown territory, in things we are unsure about, um, listen for that voice. Um, look within. See what the universe, what the divine is trying to tell you. Um, a lot of times it isn't, as clear as words. It may just be a feeling, a very strong feeling. Um, or images. It could be a lot of things. Everybody experiences this connection in a different way. But pay attention to it. Don't discount it. You are, again, your best guide in all of this. So, moving a bit, fingers and toes, hands and feet. And then maybe coming up to a seat if you feel like it. Bring hands together. Take a breath in and out. Thank you for taking time this morning for yoga, for sharing your practice with me. I hope that you have a very excellent Earth Day. Namaste. Okay, good. Um, meditation. Here we go. 5 minutes. Sitting comfortably, however you want to be there, or even lying down is possible. Finding that steady, peaceful mind, focusing maybe on the breath. Okay, we're back. Hopefully that was a peaceful meditation for you. Um, Good morning, Dora. I didn't say hello. um, so have a great day. I don't know about the weather, but we'll see if we get some sun. It would be nice. And I'll be back tomorrow.